Hey, good morning. I'm Patricia Murphy. It's Friday. This is Seattle Now. This week, a group of Mexican restaurants in Washington are asking for stricter enforcement against unpermitted food carts. The city has Mariners fever as the team prepares for a do-or-die game this evening. And what's the first rule of Fight Club? We're breaking it. A backyard fighting organization in Gig Harbor is giving people a place to blow off steam. UW professor Jeff Shulman and Factal editor Joe Veyera are here to break down the week. But first, let's get you caught up. If you're out and about today, be prepared for vibes and crowds. The Mariners take on the Detroit Tigers tonight. First pitch is 5:08. It's Game 5 of the American League Division Series. You can watch it on Fox and listen on Seattle Sports 7:10 a.m. The M's have won the deciding Game 5 of the ALDS 2 times in 1995 and 2001. Speaking of the Mariners, it's World Mental Health Day today, a day to promote and educate mental health advocacy. Hey, if you feel like it, maybe take a quiet moment to yourself. When you're done, maybe call a friend and check in on them. King County provides mental health services to low-income people in need. If you or someone you want to help is experiencing a mental health crisis, call 988. And Saturday water taxi service from Seattle to Vashon starts tomorrow. King County is expanding service to 6 days a week as part of its fall and winter schedule. It'll operate 8 trips a day, beginning at 5:30 a.m., departing from Seattle. The last trip back from Vashon is right around 7 p.m. Check back for more headlines on tonight's episode of Seattle Now. It's Friday again. Hope your week was okay. Jeff Shulman's here. He's a professor at UW's Foster School of Business and former host of the Seattle Growth podcast. Jeff, good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Welcome back. And Joe Veyera's here. He's an editor at Factal and a very anxious Mariners fan. Joe, I can feel your nerves across the room.
I'd be doing so much better if we won on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, that would give you a little bit of comfort, I'm sure. All right, you two, before we dive in, put up your dukes. KUOW reporter Casey Martin went out to Gig Harbor to break the first rule of Fight Club. He was out at the scrapyard, described as a backyard legal fight organization. If you think this sounds shady, hold up. Would it change your mind to know that organizers have a full live stream of the event with commentators, slow motion, and replay? This is a very pro setup. During the summer, they actually have about 50 fights in a single day. That is bananas.
There's a lot of anger out there, isn't there?
Absolutely.
All right, what are we tapping into? I need to ask.
There's anxiety, there's frustration, there's rage. I mean, you've got just so much change and uncertainty in our world right now that I think people are ready to beat each other up.
And we haven't even gotten into the Mariners
yet.
No. Yeah. Anyone from age 18 to 60 in good health can step into the ring. Do you see yourself as a competitor, a bystander, reporter?
So let's paint a picture here. I'm 6'1", 155 pounds. Like a slight breeze could take me out. So I think I'll be on the sidelines at best.
Okay. What about you? You could see throwing a punch, maybe?
Never. I mean, I did do some boxing back in the day, but at this age, in this time of my life, no way.
Okay. Steve Fire Chicken Hagara says he used to spar at the gym. It was all business. But here, people are much more friendly before and after the fights. This is supposed to have a convivial community vibe. And, you know, clearly there's a community of people who like to beat the crap out of each other for fun.
I think the first step to becoming my friend, if we want to beat the Seattle Freeze, is not to punch me in the face. Like that's the starting point.
That's Gig Harbor.
That's the foundation.
I don't know. I think what better way to smash through the Seattle Freeze than a punch to the face?
You know, right? Nothing says I'm your buddy.
Yeah,
like,
we got
mutual
this.
black eyes. Mutual black eyes. The highlight of the piece from Casey is the post-fight conversation. He spoke to someone who wanted to prove he could hold his own in a scrap, but didn't tell his wife he was coming. This is the quote of the year. I'm in so much trouble, brother.
How do you explain that after the fact?
I know. Well,
you have the black eye, you know, You look worse for the wear, I assume, unless this is an incredible fighter.
He got the stuffing beat out of him that day. And I guess if he had won, he would have come home victorious. And maybe his wife would have found out. If not, maybe he would have been back the next week. But I think we will not see him again at the fight. If his wife has anything to say about it.
If he comes home and still takes care of business, does what he needs to do, then he just gets to say, look at the other guy.
What's a few punches between friends on the weekend?
Right.
All right. Moving on to the big story of the week. Public Health Seattle-King County has been cracking down on non-permitted food carts this year. Back in August, the county reported a 300% rise in unpermitted vendors over the past 2 years. Now, the Washington State Mexican Restaurant Fair Play Coalition, which represents more than 200 licensed Mexican restaurants, wants more action. They want these pop-up taco tents and stands operating across the state permitted or shut down. I'm going to put this out to the group here. What do you say? Do you see these setups around the city?
I've not seen the taco stands. I've seen some hot dog stands outside a Seahawks game and a Sounders game, and some of those don't look trustworthy.
Okay, all right.
I have seen a fair number around town, and it's only something in the past few years that have really seemed to pop up in more and more places.
The meat on the rotating meat stand.
Looks pretty good.
The trompo, is that what they call that? Al pastor tacos. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. They're all over my neighborhood up in the North End right now. And the lines are very long. My husband and son have eaten there and said it's amazing. I have not yet, but that's just because I haven't had a chance, honestly. It doesn't work out for me. Do you look for a permit? Jeff, it sounds like you do.
I definitely need a permit. I mean, I'm down for a churro from whatever, but a taco with the meat that I don't know where they refrigerated it, when they last refrigerated it, no thank you. I'll pass. Hard pass.
I think I'm a little more amenable, and I look at it in terms of, well, if you want my business again, like if you want a repeat customer, you're not going to get me sick.
That's true. If you want me coming back, I better not feel crummy the next day. The coalition has filed a formal complaint. KUOW says the coalition claims to have evidence of more than 50 unlicensed vendors across the state, some even reportedly linked to out-of-state operations. They say these tents are not always mom-and-pop setups, and I think that is the vibe, right? Oh, it's just a small family or whatever doing this thing on the side of the road. They say no. They say the unlicensed vendors have undercut restaurants and threatened public health. Do you think the public realizes?
Probably not. I mean, it's not something that they're obviously advertising on their part. And you come to, you see that on the side of the road and you can't think that this is coming from somewhere else outside of the community.
Okay, yes. Does it matter? Does it change things that it's not a mom and pop, that it could be like a bigger thing behind the curtain there?
I think that crosses the line from someone trying to make a living versus trying to skirt permitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's an interesting take.
Yeah, I think that Seattle has like this independent spirit. And so if it's just a person trying to figure out, do they have what it takes to open a restaurant or get a big fancy food truck, then maybe people will be more forgiving. But if it's an out-of-town organization skirting the laws and food safety and putting us at risk, and maybe even the workers. We don't even know how they treat their workers at that point.
Do you think this takes business away from permitted restaurants, or is this just another option out there? Two different client bases.
I think it probably does undercut restaurants a bit, but I think if you actually want to address this as an issue, you have to look at all of the structural problems that exist with starting a restaurant. You have commercial rents, you have permitting. Unless you tackle these issues and make the barrier to entry lower, you're going to see pop-ups like this.
I know that Public Health Seattle-King County has tried to work with these unpermitted vendors to make it easier, more clear about how to stay in compliance with the law. You don't go there, but I wonder if there's an elephant in the room here that we're not talking about, which is they're damn good. The food is damn good from what I hear.
I mean, this is an opportunity. The government could take a chance and realize people want these smaller niche restaurants. And so to make it easier to get that started while still maintaining the safety and the worker safety that we want, that's the ideal.
Okay.
And just look at what they do down in Portland. You have food carts everywhere. And I'm interested to know, what is the difference here that has prevented that from happening?
Right.
Okay. And of course, this is not a late night city. Is there a coolness or convenience factor here?
I am not really an arbiter of cool, so I don't know if you even trust my opinion on that one.
They're definitely convenient.
Yes.
Right, sure.
The more that's open later, the better.
I saw, I'm in the UW subreddit, and somebody posted that there's a new taco Al Pastor set up in the University District. And my favorite comment in the thread is, here's the only thing you need to know about this place. It's going to be amazing, and 1 week from now, it'll be gone. All right, moving on to our next topic, also about why Seattle is not a late-night city. Good news for night owls. Sound Transit is proposing bus routes that serve the light rail corridor between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. when the link isn't running. They'd go as far north as Linwood and as far south as Federal Way. They'd even take people to and from the east side, serving about 85% of light rail stations. When was the last time you were out super late? How did you get home?
It's perfectly timed. It was during the 18-inning Mariners playoff game.
Okay.
Went out for one drink afterwards because we needed to shake off that game. And then light rail was closed. And so I was thinking I'd get home for free and instead had to get home for $25 Uber.
Oh, so you were anticipating a light rail ride and got hosed.
Yeah, I didn't realize when it closes.
Oh.
Jeff, I was having such a good day until you brought that game up.
You had to start there, Jeff.
But no, I go to concerts pretty frequently, and
Yeah.
you end up out pretty late. And I just always drive because I don't feel like I can rely on transit to get me home.
Yeah. Have you ever used the light rail at night and gotten dumped off somewhere at random? Because this has happened to me. I took a late flight home and I ended up, the light rail ended in Soto. They were just shutting it down for the night. Either, I don't know I can't remember what the reason was, but it was like 12:30 and I was stuck in Soto, which is nowhere land.
This is a good PSA for people if you're coming home from the airport and catching those late flights. Those last at least one, maybe 2 or 3 trains of the night, if you're going north, will stop in Soto or at the stadiums.
I cannot imagine that. It was
And you don't
terrible.
want to be dumped out there with all your luggage and then waiting for a cab to come get you.
Well, I wonder if the Ubers are hanging out in the neighborhood waiting for the people who just stumbled onto a train too late and ended up dumped. Seattle has a few bus routes that go pretty late into the night. Some of the rapid ride lines operate for 24 hours. But I think if we're honest, right now, this is really just not a late night city overall. A lot of Seattle businesses close relatively early, even on weekends. Is there enough here for a 24-hour city to make sense of a overnight bus route like this?
If you build it, they will come.
You say that. Do
I
you
don't think
they
the transit
will?
is what's stopping the people. There's nothing open. It's super creepy after dark, after a certain hour.
You know, you catch one of those late night buses, you get a late night taco at the unpermitted stand
There you
down the
go.
street, and you're having a great
It's
time.
a whole evening planned.
There is some truth to the if you build it, they might come. I mean, you look at 24-hour cities like New York, and there's food, late night food, there's late night alcohol, there's
It's a whole vibe out there.
and there's people, and so you just feel safe throughout the 24 hours in some parts. I don't think transit's the first link that's the problem.
I could see that. I think you've got to start somewhere.
That's true.
What can you even do after 1 a.m. around here besides shut down the bar?
Is Dick's Burgers open after 1 a.m.?
No, I don't think so. Fact check. Dick's is open until 2 a.m.
And they didn't even sponsor this episode.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, the 1 a.m. city.
We can get to 1 a.m. city.
If these bus lines can just hit all of the Dick's locations,
That's
then I think we're really on to something here.
Yeah. I also think Shawarma King here on the Ave.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty late.
Okay. All right. And now you're opening up my mind. The old Baka Bak is now a late night food window.
Okay.
Open till 3 a.m.
All right. So the U District and Capitol Hill, you could get
Contenders.
your food until,
Contenders for the 1 a.m. city.
yeah, 18-hour cities. 1 a.m. city.
The plan is subject to change, but there seems to be kind of a glaring issue here. Of course, the night owl buses would skip key light rail stops like Columbia City, Beacon Hill, University of Washington, and Capitol Hill. I don't know. Maybe we should get in touch.
They're clearly not busing people to late-night food spots at this point, from what I can tell.
We need the Dick's Amendment.
Yeah, that's right. They should look up where Shawarma King and Dick's locations are.
Yeah.
Bus there.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to our next topic. This was supposed to be the big story of the week, talking about all the good vibes as the Mariners rolled on in the playoffs, but it's now all on hold as the M's lost a key Game 4 in Detroit on Wednesday afternoon. Game 5 is tonight at 5 p.m., which is a lot better than the last 2 games, which have been right smack dab in the middle of the workday, messing it up for everybody. I'm going to start with you, Joe. How you been working this week? Distracted?
Oh, I have been a model employee. I have been so focused on the job at hand, just like the Mariners will be today.
Oh, boy. Jeff, you get distracted?
I've gotten everything done that I needed to get done.
Wink,
You
wink.
will not hear me say anything else.
All right. Our production team, I will say, was rather upset Wednesday when the M's got crushed. The game ended like 3 p.m., so everybody here had to finish their jobs because, of course, the day grinds on even when the M's did not. World Series tickets went on sale. The Mariners were likely mandated by Major League Baseball to put tickets up for sale, but
Read the room, guys.
feels a little too soon.
Yeah.
I don't feel that makes me a little queasy.
I've been queasy since about 3 p.m. on Wednesday.
If
yeah.
I was superstitious, I might not buy those tickets just on the basis of being superstitious.
I would not buy those tickets on the basis of them starting at $900 a pop.
I guess there's a lot of reasons to opt out there.
I did buy Game 7 ALCS against the Yankees.
Oh,
but that obviously
that's
didn't
not gonna
happen, so that ticket is completely useless.
Wow. All right. Well, how are you approaching Friday? How are you prepping for the outcome?
I don't know how I'm going to prepare. I don't think there's any way for me to be in a healthy emotional state come 5 p.m. I mean, I look back on the last time they won the division, I was 8 years old, and I'm not anywhere near 8 years old anymore.
And Joe, we were saying the first time we met in person.
That was after the final game of 2021,
Yeah.
I think. And that was not a playoff year.
Yeah.
So we hope for a full circle moment with a happier ending.
Yeah.
So my allegiance is to the Cincinnati Reds.
Whoa.
It goes back to my childhood roots. But I do like and root for the Mariners, and I feel as a spectator of fans and the team, they're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, it just feels like, when is it going to collapse?
Is that a self-fulfilling prophecy? I hope not. Maybe that's a problem.
I think this team can shake off what happened in Game 4 and just turn the page.
Okay.
This team does feel different.
Okay, we're going to do our best right now to send some good vibes by talking about all the fun stuff that happened during this series. One Mariners fan was captured in a very sweet moment during Game 2 on Sunday night. After the Mariners took the lead, longtime Seattle radio host Saul Spady was captured crying and being hugged by his partner. There is crying in baseball.
Well done.
Has a sports team ever made you cry? Happy or sad tears?
Are you really a Mariners fan if they haven't brought you to tears for good or bad? For me, it was Felix Hernandez's final start. Like that, I bawled at T-Mobile Park that night.
Nice. I don't want to admit this, but there's somebody I know maybe who was at the Sounders championship game with his dad. He was an inaugural season ticket holder from day one and brought just a little mist to his eyes. But I don't know who that person is.
Schmeff Mulman.
There was also a Mariners fan moment in Detroit. This is great. A fan with a shirt that said "Dump 61 here" caught Cal Raleigh's home run on Tuesday, then took the shirt off to reveal another shirt that said "Dump 62 here."
I feel like I'm rarely caught off guard, and seeing him reveal the next shirt was just like, oh my goodness.
Next level.
So good.
Level. Fan Jameson Turner got to take a photo with Cal, told King 5 he wasn't planning on attending Wednesday's game, but would have to change his plans. Sorry if you were there, Jameson.
Hopefully they fly him out for Friday.
Right. They should fly him out, you think?
I think you've got to do whatever works.
Yeah, he's from Vegas.
It's only weird if it doesn't work.
Right.
So anything anybody's been doing to get the magic flowing, now's the time.
All right. Well, even if things don't go the Mariners' way today, heaven forbid, it's been a shot in the arm for the city. Big crowds in Soto over the weekend. Probably a pretty big crowd coming this evening.
We need this, right? I mean, the whole city just is electric when there's a sports team to root for.
I didn't even realize the M's were playing one night, and I'm like, what is happening in this city? There's so many people, the energy. And then I realized, I had my teenager next to me. I said, check the game. Is somebody, the M's playing tonight? It was great. No, You're right. The energy in the city is fantastic. Best of luck to the M's.
Trident's up.
One last thing before we go, an update on something we talked about over the summer. After an outpouring of support, Monroe, Washington's Reptile Zoo will remain open after all. The zoo was originally supposed to close this month, but that's now turned into a temporary closure. Owner Isaac Peterson says he's going to use that time to deep clean and rearrange all the exhibits. Deep cleaning a reptile zoo sounds like a pretty big job. Some of the reptiles were recently for sale. When I heard this news, I wondered for a moment if this was the best outcome.
They should auction off the opportunity to clean those cages.
The highest bidder.
Yeah,
if
that'll
you
keep
really
them in business.
cared, come in and scrape some poop, people. My gosh.
Yeah.
Like, this is not my cup of tea, but I do respect when people are able to save and maintain like community assets. And just on that note, if anyone wants to save the Egyptian theater, like, please do.
Bring it up. I know. Back to the reptile zoo, Peterson credits an outpouring of support from the community for their ability to stabilize. When he announced the closure of the zoo, people really turned out. Seattle Times went out to the zoo to meet some fans, including a family that's been around 10 times that brings all their new guests with them each time. Can the zoo count on this energy to keep them going? I feel like...
My wife did take my 2 daughters there about 5 to 10 years ago, and they liked it.
They had a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jeff, wait a minute.
I'm not going. And my kids have outgrown that. They're not going back. They're afraid of spiders now. Like, they don't want anything to do with that. There's like a certain age in life where you want to see reptiles and you're not scared of them.
Okay, that's a good point. Maybe for science purposes, this place is helpful. But
Yeah.
ultimately, maybe the best place for reptiles is in their natural environment.
So you just lifted them up? Hooray, they're saved, and then tear them down?
Yes, both things can be true at the same time.
Good for them. Wish you hadn't.
And we are going to leave it there. Jeff Shulman is a professor at UW's Foster School of Business. Joe Veyera is an editor at Factal. Thanks, Joe.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Go Mariners. Appreciate you listening to Seattle Now. Today's episode was produced by Vaughn Jones. It was edited by Caroline Chamberlain Gomez. Our production team also includes Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers, Andy Hurst, and Paige Browning. Greg Kramer does our theme music. Seattle Now and KUOW Public Radio are members of the NPR network. I'm Patricia Murphy. See you soon.